Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth videos on your Green Bay Packers. We have new episodes dropping every day, Monday through Friday, so hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, visit our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on your Green Bay Packers. Today, we break down the keys to victory for the Packers in their Thanksgiving Day game against the Detroit Lions in the Motor City. And this is the second meeting of these two teams this year. Packers 7-3-1, the Lions 7-4. So this is a huge game. Green Bay coming off a 23-6 win over Minnesota, while the Lions got a win over the Giants in overtime, 34-27, in a game that if the Giants were better coached, they would have won. But right now, the Packers lead the all-time series against Detroit 105-78 with 7 ties. And this series dates back to 1930 when the Lions were known as the Portsmouth Spartans. And, they've met 2 times in the playoffs, these two teams, back in 1993 and 1994, with the Packers winning both of them. Starting on the Green Bay defensive side of the ball, the first key, get pressure on Jared Goff. He is a really good quarterback, but he's not particularly mobile. And when he is under pressure, he can make some critical mistakes, and he's a less effective passer when he's under pressure. The Packers' pass rush is the key to their defense. Micah Parsons has been the tide that lifts all boats. He has a nonstop motor. He is fast. He gets good leverage, and offenses have to account for him on every play. When he's playing well, and we saw this last Sunday against Minnesota, he allows guys like Rashawn Gary and Devontae Wyatt to wreak havoc as well. Now, Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, those are 2 quality offensive tackles, but they're going to have their hands full with this Packers pass rush. Jeff Hafley going to move Parsons around, including having him line up behind the nose tackle, because the Lions may be without Graham Glasgow, who is their starting center. He did not practice Monday or Tuesday due to a knee injury. Wyatt could take advantage of the backup center, or they could try to move Parsons back into the middle at times. It'll be an interesting matchup, but the Packers need to get pressure on the quarterback. The second key on defense, contain Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's easier said than done. Not just his ability to run, but also as a receiver. He has 951 yards on the ground, and he's run for 10 touchdowns. He has a 6.1 yard average per carry. That is tops in the league. And he's also caught 48 passes for 379 more yards and 3 additional touchdowns. The Lions also have David Montgomery. He's more of a power back. He's the change of pace guy, and they complement each other well. We don't know the status of Quay Walker. He missed last week's game with an injury, but was listed as a limited participant in Monday's theoretical practice and Tuesday's walkthrough. Look, I like Isaiah McDuffie against the run, but I want either Edgerrin Cooper and or Quay Walker covering Gibbs on passing plays. The speed those 2 guys have would be critical in this matchup. Packers rank 6th in the league. They give up just 96.5 yards on the ground each game. And if they can, again, contain that running game, not let Jahmyr Gibbs get 7, 8, or more yards on any of his carries, then you can pressure Jared Goff and concentrate on getting to the quarterback. Gibbs is the catalyst of this Detroit offense. They can't necessarily shut him down, but they've got to contain him. Then number 3, the Packers cornerbacks have to play well against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Again, these guys complement each other. St. Brown is the possession receiver, the go-to guy, 75 catches, 9 touchdowns. And, third down, they're looking for St. Brown most of the time. Jamison Williams has only 31 catches, but he's averaging 18.1 yards per catch. He's the deep threat that sort of balances out the short and intermediate catches by St. Brown. Now, we don't know the status of Keyshawn Nixon. The Packers are hoping he's ready to play. He suffered a stinger against the Vikings when he collided with Devontae Wyatt on the sideline after a play. The Packers are going to need Carrington Valentine to play well. If Nixon isn't there, Kamal Hadden and or Nate Hobbs will have to step up. Hobbs could be back. He's missed the last few games. He was listed as a limited participant in practice on Monday and Tuesday. Again, the Packers love to keep passes in front of them, and that is critical. Do not let the Lions have splash plays either in the passing game or in the running game. Make them go down the field deliberately and earn every point. Switching our attention to the other side of the ball, the Packers need to stop Aiden Hutchinson from pressuring Jordan Love. He is an elite pass rusher. And look, he missed a lot of last year due to injury. He has 8.5 sacks so far this year. He's got burst, strength, and good technique. And he is tireless. His motor is always running, much like Micah Parsons. And the Packers are going to have to be ready. Rasheed Walker has not lived up to expectations this year. Zach Tom on the other side has been dealing with injuries. They have to figure out how to stop him now. Darian Kennard has been used as a sixth offensive lineman / second tight end. And, they may try to put Kennard on the side that Hutchinson is on. There'll be a chess match between the Packers offense and Matt LaFleur and the Lions defense as to where Hutchinson lines up and how the Packers line up to try to contain him. We know Jordan Love is dealing with a left shoulder injury that makes it hard for him to hand off with his left hand, but giving him time to throw, critical. If Love has a clean pocket, he is at or near the top of the league in completion percentage and efficiency, and he can take advantage of this Lions secondary, which isn't necessarily going to be elite, and they're also missing Kirby Joseph, so that is another factor. The Packers also, number 5, they need to be balanced on offense. There was no Josh Jacobs last week with a bruised knee. They hope to have him back Thursday, but the short week makes it a little more questionable. Emmanuel Wilson filled in and did well, but the offensive line's run blocking, not the best, although moving Anthony Belton to right guard last week definitely helped the run blocking a little bit. And whether it's Jacobs or Wilson or a combination of the two, they both were able to gain yards after initial contact, and you got to hope that initial contact is not at or behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions run defense 11th in the league. They give up 101.7 yards per game. The Packers don't have to dominate on the ground, but they do have to run well enough to be balanced on offense and set up the play action passing game. And then number 6, win this game in the red zone. The Packers offense 6th in the league in the red zone. The Lions, they're 7th in the league in the red zone. Defensively, Green Bay 19th in the red zone. Detroit 25th. You got to score touchdowns. The Lions are a team that loves to run up the score when they're ahead. They never stop trying to score regardless of the game time or situation. Getting Jacobs back would be huge. Look for Christian Watson in the red zone, maybe Romeo Doubs. If they go past, they miss Tucker Kraft. He was their number 1 red zone target. But score touchdowns, don't settle for field goals. The team that does that more often when they're in the red zone has a big advantage. This is a huge game. If the Packers win, they'll go to 3-0 in the division. They'll sweep the season series from the Lions, and they'll be a game and a half up with 5 games left. Lose, and the Lions pass the Packers in the standings by a half a game, and the Packers fall to 2-1 in the division. Detroit usually plays well on Thanksgiving. They're at home. The Packers Their best game so far this season was week 1 at Lambeau against these Detroit Lions. But since then, they have struggled to play well in all 3 phases at the same time. I think this game goes down to the wire, but the Packers will make a mistake, whether it's a penalty or, a turnover. They will make some kind of mistake in the closing minute and probably lose this game 24-21. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong about that prediction. Check out our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on the Packers. Here on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. And of course, go Pack Go.